Do you ever feel like you're just throwing money away trying to get new customers, but nothing's just seeming to work? Maybe you're wondering why your competitors are getting leads for way less while your budget is disappearing faster than you can track it. Well, here's the hard truth. Right now, you could be wasting cash on ads and you might not even know what's really driving up your costs. During this video, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share with you the one thing that can completely change this for your business so you can finally lower your cost per lead and stop stressing out every time you look at your marketing bill. Here's what a lot of cleaning companies like house cleaning companies or junk removal businesses, movers, landscapers, even carpet cleaners, all the different home service businesses may not realize is that the largest thing that decides how much you pay for a lead, it's not your ad, the words you use, or even how much you spend. It's something hardly anyone ever thinks about. After running campaigns for a business just like yours, we discovered this simple factor that makes all the difference. Companies that get it right often pay around like 40%, 60% less for every lead using the same marketing channels as everyone else. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to stay tuned because I'm going to tell you how you can use this to turn your lead costs around. So what is this hidden factor that controls your cost per lead? After managing lots of money for in-home service ad spend and tracking campaign data across a business that is within the home service industry, we've discovered something that completely changes how you should think about lead costs. The factor that determines whether you pay $30 or $90 for the same lead isn't your copy or your keywords. It's your lead to customer conversion timeline and how you track it. Here's what we found when we analyzed our data. We set up tracking software called CallRail for every single client campaign. And what this allows us to do is determine not just how many leads come in, but exactly when those leads turned into paying customers. This software ties each phone call back to the specific ad and its source to track all of the way through to the payment. Most contractors think a lead is just a phone call or a form submission, but that's where they get it completely wrong. Okay, I want to give you an example. Let's say that you have two HVAC contractors, okay, and they're both in Denver running identical campaigns. Contractor A is getting leads for $45 each and thought his cost per lead was great. However, contractor B was paying $70 per lead and almost stopped his campaigns. But when we tracked the full conversion timeline, we discovered something shocking. Let's say that there was a big difference in conversion timelines between these two contractors. So here's what's going on with this. I want you to picture this. You're excited about a $30 lead that came in last week, but 3 months later, that lead still hasn't turned into a paying customer. Ugh. Meanwhile, your competitor's $70 lead converted within days. This timeline difference completely changes everything. Google's bidding algorithms use conversion data to optimize your campaigns. And when conversions happen faster, the algorithm learns quicker and starts showing your ads to better prospects. Contractor B was actually getting much higher quality leads. His cost per customer was lower, and his return on investment was 3 times that than contractor A. The problem is most contractors, even marketing agencies, completely overlook this conversion timeline tracking. They focus on click-through rates and ad copy performance. But these metrics are misleading indicators. You could have a 2% click-through rate and still waste thousands of your dollars if your leads take months to convert or never convert at all. Here's the setup process we use to monitor this critical factor. First, we implement call tracking software that connects directly to the client CRM system. Every phone call gets recorded with the original ad campaign source. Second, we set up a conversion tracking that monitors not just the initial lead, but when that lead becomes a scheduled appointment. This is big. When the appointment happens and when the customer pays. That's even larger. Lead costs vary dramatically across different home service categories. And understanding these variations gives you the baseline to evaluate your own performance. Industry data shows that average cost per lead for home services runs around $66, but this number changes significantly based on your service type. Simple services like lawn care typically run lower, while high ticket services like HVAC installations command higher lead costs because businesses can afford to pay more for their leads and generate substantial revenue from them. The real story emerges when you look at how these lead costs change throughout the year. Emergency services like plumbing have completely different cost per lead patterns than planned services like landscaping. And the difference changes everything about how you should manage your ad spend. Emergency plumbing leads stay consistent year round because pipes burst in January just like they do in July. But landscaping leads drop dramatically in winter months when homeowners stop thinking about, like their yards. Then they rise sharply during peak spring and summer months when demand surges. Geographic competition creates massive differences in lead costs, even within the same service category. A plumbing contractor in rural Nebraska pays significantly less per lead than the same service in Denver. Market saturation and population density directly impact these numbers, with urban areas and influent neighborhoods driving up costs due to heightened competition among service providers. The specific times when cost per lead drops vary by service type, but the patterns are predictable. Roofing follows storm patterns, with costs spiking after major weather events when every contractor increases their budget. HVAC contractors see their lowest costs in shoulder seasons before summer and winter demand hits. Electrical services maintain steady costs except during holiday seasons when residential demand peaks. You can use the seasonal data to plan your marketing budget 12 months in advance and optimize your cash flow. Map your own seasonality by analyzing past spend patterns and adjusting budgets accordingly. One landscaping contractor shifted 60% of his budget to off-season months and used the savings to dominate peak season, increasing his annual lead volume by 80% while reducing his average cost per lead. That's pretty amazing, right? But knowing these benchmarks is just the starting point. The contractors who consistently outperform these industry averages use specific optimization tactics that most people never really even think about. The specific tactics that consistently reduce cost per lead across multiple campaigns come down to the campaign optimization process that we use for every successful home service client that we have. Let me walk you through these exact steps. First, we analyze the search term reports to identify wasted spend. Most contractors lose thousands of dollars per month on irrelevant clicks, and proper negative implementation fixes this immediately. Here's a real example that we've seen out there. Before optimization, this company had a campaign that triggered ads for searches like DIY air conditioning repair or cheap HVAC installation. These searches brought in leads that never converted because they were looking for free information or bargain prices. So what they did is they added negative keywords like DIY or cheap or free and how to their campaign. This approach helps filter out non-commercial queries and focus spend on high intent searches. One client cut thousands off their wasted clicks by blocking DIY and bargain search keywords, which dramatically improved their cost per lead. The bidding strategies that actually lower costs while increasing lead volume work because they focus on conversion data rather than just clicks. Instead of bidding for the cheapest clicks, we use target CPA and target ROAS bidding that prioritizes clicks most likely to convert. These automated bidding strategies use historical conversion data to identify high intent prospects, consistent with Google Ads best practices. We set up enhanced conversions that track when leads become customers. Then let the algorithm optimize for actual customers, not just phone calls. Ad scheduling and geographic targeting adjustments maximize return on investment by showing ads only when your ideal customers are searching. So, what you'll see is with your call data across your campaigns, like home service campaigns, you'll see that emergency services get the highest quality leads between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. when homeowners discover these problems. Planned services like landscaping get better leads during weekday business hours when property managers and homeowners are planning projects. Landing page optimization plays a crucial role in reducing overall cost per lead. Single purpose pages with a few clear calls to action consistently outperform multiple option websites. When you limit visitor actions to calling, submitting a form, or leaving the page, conversion rates increase dramatically compared to regular contractor websites with 15 different navigation options. Think about that. The lead scoring and qualification process helps focus on high value prospects by tracking lead behavior and conversion patterns. We set up conversion tracking that monitors not just the initial contact, but when leads become scheduled appointments, completed jobs, or repeat customers. This data feeds back into advertising algorithms and improves campaign performance over time. These optimization tactics work together as part of a larger system that transforms how contractors approach lead generation. When you master these cost per lead strategies, you gain a competitive edge that transforms your entire business approach. You create predictable lead costs, reduce marketing stress, and build the cash flow stability that lets you focus on growing your business instead of constantly worrying about where the next customer will be coming from. Right now, audit your current tracking setup and implement the conversion timeline optimization we've covered. Set up call tracking software and add those negative keywords and start measuring when leads actually become paying customers. The contractors who mastered these methods will dominate their local markets while others struggle with expensive, low quality leads. If you found this useful, hit the subscribe for more data driven marketing tips that help your service business grow profitably. And also check out the link in the top of the description because we've provided some resources there for you to generate more leads. We'll see you in the next one.